Hi, my spectacular chefs. Welcome to Recipe Specialty, where we show you how to make a variety of recipes from eggs to eggceptional. In this video, I'm going to make a pot roast, one of those stick-to-your-bones kind of meals that every household likely has their own recipe for. Well, here's mine. What I used to prepare this was a big hunkin' 3-pound beef chuck roast, a couple Yukon Gold potatoes, carrots, celery, a big red onion, leeks, a whole head of garlic, cornstarch to make a slurry, olive oil, red wine, water, garlic powder, plus good old salt and pepper. With that said, let's get cooking. The chuck cut of beef is a thick, tender, usually fatty piece of meat that tends to separate easily when it's cooked long, like I plan to do here. So I used some kitchen twine to tie it together, just to hold it together. Then seasoned the beef on all sides generously with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Once it's been seasoned thoroughly, bust out a large pot with a lid or a Dutch oven like I'm using here, and crank the stove up to medium-high. Once it's hot enough, add the olive oil and give the pot or pan or whatever you're using a good coating with the olive oil. Place the beef in, turn the heat down to medium, and sear it on all sides until it is completely golden brown all around. This is a rather large 3-pound cut of beef. It took 4 minutes per side to reach that nice caramelization that we're looking for. Once it's done browning, remove it from the pot and set aside on a plate. Time for the veg to get a little attention. Add a little bit more olive oil to the pot, then slide in the onions, the leeks, the carrots, celery, garlic cloves. I just tossed the garlic in whole. Then once the veg has been added, season with salt and pepper. Turn the heat down to low, medium low, and cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now that the veg has been sweat down, add a heaping tablespoon of flour and stir it in. You're going to cook this for about 30 seconds to remove that bitter flour flavor. This is going to help thicken the sauce. Then deglaze the fond from the bottom of the pot with a good cup of wine that you would drink. Let this cook a few minutes to let the alcohol cook off while you scrape the bottom of the pot to remove that fond. I prefer a wooden spatula or even a plastic spatula or my tongs sometimes. I don't think you should use metal here. It'll scratch up the bottom of the pot. Then pour in 2 cups of water or 2 cups of stock. Beef stock is perfect, veal stock, even a vegetable stock. Add the beef back in. We're going to cook this on the stove on low for about 3 hours, or it can go in the oven at 325 for about 3.5 to 4 hours. As it braises, you're going to have to check on it every 30 minutes and flip the meat over. With about an hour left in the cooking process, add the potatoes and any other veg to the pot so they can cook alongside the meat. You don't add them at the beginning because they'll completely break down. Root vegetables go extremely well here. Add more carrots if you like, potatoes, parsnips, turnips, what have you. Once done, remove the pot from the oven or turn off the stove and remove the beef so that we can get to work thickening that gravy. Fish out the cooked potatoes and as much of the cooked down vegetables as you can. Then we're going to pass the liquid through a strainer so that we just have liquid with no meat or veg particles to deal with. Press down into that cooked down veg using the back of a spoon or a spatula or tongs like I'm doing here. We're trying to squeeze out every little bit of juice that we can. Then toss. They've given us everything they've got. Next, we're going to make a slurry to help thicken the sauce. Mix equal parts cornstarch and water or liquid from the pot itself. We do this because stirring cornstarch powder directly into the sauce creates clumps. Add the slurry to the pot with the liquid and stir. It needs to come to a boil, but then reduced to a low simmer so it can thicken. While the sauce is thickening, cut up the meat. Slice against the grain so it doesn't shred apart. Plate. Then pour on that delicious gravy and enjoy. Please let me know what you think. If you made this recipe, did you tweak it at all? Do you have any suggestions to improve it? How do you make your pot roast? I know you've got your own recipe. Everybody seems to. I'd love to hear all your feedback. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm truly grateful for all the love and support you all have shown me. You're all so very kind. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy. If you all like this video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe, check out the website. Ultimately, let's eat!